Okay, so I couldn't even reboot my computer. It wouldn't let me, so I had to like hard power it off and power it back on, and then I lost all my windows and everything. But um, what's all this shit? Um, all right. Um, so I don't know why my computer got so messed up, um, but it did. Um, so let's go back and figure out what is this shit. Okay, so we have this guy 1, 2, blah blah blah. So after one round, he moves over to the right. Um, this guy moves up, and then they move here, and then they're fighting, 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 and then they're fighting. Um, so these guys are all attacking them. So this guy only has 2 hit points, so he gets creamed. Um, and now, uh, once he gets creamed, um, he moves left, and he moves left, and he moves down. Um, and then they keep going and they keep going, and um, I'm getting an index out of error, and I'm getting an index out of range um, because the frontier is empty. So why would the frontier um, be empty? So I'm this guy, and uh, isn't that? I thought that elf was dead. He is dead, and so now why is he showing up here in round 25? Um, Elf equals false equals elf equals true. Elf equals false equals false. Elf equals true. That's this guy. So why is he showing up there? Is that just a bug in my um, Sons of Fighters? If not, f dot dead. Um, so let me try that again. Um, and now he's not there. But so the problem here is that he's run out of spaces. So there's nowhere for him to go. So I need to find, um, so what I need to do is say wall frontier, which is what I should have done. Um, and then if that break, and then at this point it has it, otherwise nowhere to go. So I think that's okay. And then I think I stuck something um, down here that I don't want to do. And let's just do that. Min arg is an empty sequence. Okay, so for target and targets, um, checking. So why would the target be an empty sequence? Um, because well, obviously, because there's no targets, but there's got to be a target, right? Um, and which guy is that we're trying to move? It is the guy at 1, 1. Um, there are no targets because there are no adjacent squares. Um, so let's just say if not targets, um, no targets, return none. Okay, so that worked. So now let's do this guy too. And now we want to add in that second piece, which is keeping track of the path and not. Okay, so let me remember how I did this. So did I move last time, and do I have a path to follow? Move last time equals true. Um, uh, uh, so self.path to follow self last time equals true. And so what I want to do is so I don't have adjacent enemies. If I didn't move last time and there was no movement next round, okay. If I did move last time and oh wait, no. All right, let's see if this A star makes a difference with this guy. And I think I have too many prints. But I think I still need to deal with the other thing, which is the what step is this? Round 14. Yeah, which is remembering where to go. And so what do I want to do? I want to say who moved last time. And so the idea is so I equals 7, j equals 20. I still not helping me out. So let me go look at this A star search that I'm doing and print score path and see what's going on. So the question is, when can I remember somehow I'm hanging on to too many paths, so let me think about that. Definitely hanging on to too many paths. So for instance, I5, I5, like I shouldn't be doing this. I should be I don't want to hang on to all these paths because I have so many of them. I need to be smarter about doing them. The problem is, and this is uh, just the usual ones, Python, etc. So like when you're doing a star search, you really don't want to store the path. You just want to store what's the position and where did I come from. Um, the challenge is that all paths are not created equal. So maybe that doesn't make a difference. So I go up, I go right, I go down, I go left. Those are fine. And now I just want to go from each of those. And now, I get here and I can say, the challenge is that I want to give like basically I want to slightly prefer a path if it goes up instead of right. So I need to keep track of that somehow. But how do I do that? I do that by saying what's the best path from up to a target? What's the best? Shit, I don't know. Like naively, like you don't want to store paths because that's it's dumb. But the problem is that all like the cost. So like maybe we need to figure out a smarter way to do the cost of a path. So the cost of a path is you get a penalty based on which side of um, the target you're on, and then you also get a penalty based on your first step. But how do you make that happen? So like, what do I want to do? How each unit begins its turn by identifying all possible targets. No first rank combat ends. It identifies all the open squares, squares which are adjacent. This is considering the current position, it's not doing a prediction. It cannot reach. Okay, it's 3 targets. Each goblin of those squares, 4 are reachable. 3 of those reachable squares are nearest, requiring the fewest steps. So, so it seems like we have to do seems like we have to do 2 things. So let me just do the following. So rather than successful paths, we'll do back pointers equals fighter dot pause to none, and so now frontier is minimum of that, and fighter pause. So while frontier score pause equals that. And so that means I need to keep track of how far I've gone as well. So I need to score path length, let's call it length, equals that. If score is bigger than best score, that's fine. If pos in targets, if score is better than break, if pos is in targets, then, and let's see, reached equals set, reach dot add pos, and best score equals best score equals length. And now for next pos in pos.neighbors, if next pos in off limits continue, if next pos in back pointers, so the back pointers means we've already got here. No, that's not right either. Let me look at this Wikipedia again. Open sets. Which node can it most be efficiently reached from? Came from is empty map. For each node, the cost of getting from the start to that node, the cost of going from start to start is 0. For each node, the total cost of getting the start node by passing that node, this value is known, partly heuristic. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna copy this. And see if I can make it work. So what is closed set? So visited is a set. Not visited equals fighter.pos. I don't think this is going to work. Came from equals this. G score equals default dict lambda. No, I'll say G score is this. Default infinity. G score pos equals 0. For each node, the total cost of getting from the start node to the goal. So let me write this down. Score equals that. Default infinity. F score pos equals heuristic cost estimate, which is this. for target and targets. Okay. So while not visited, current equals the node in open set having the lowest F-score value. So we want to use a priority queue. So current equals min of not visited. Key equals lambda pos F-score dot get pos infinity. If current equals goal, this is not the right, this is not quite the right algorithm. If current in targets, I'll add that in a second. Open set remove current, visited dot add pos, not visited dot remove pos. For yeah, this has stopped being fun and it's just a mess. So I may declare defeat and just go see how other people are solving it, because this kind of sucks and I don't feel like wasting my day on it. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one.